How are ya? And welcome back to another episode of Passivecore, a challenge series where our dwarven rogue adventurer, Shaghass, is unable to craft war in a world of Warcraft. If you enjoy watching this series, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the future episodes, and drop a comment below. And in the last episode, we finally hit level 14. But it was pretty rough. We burned through 4 health tokens just to survive, though leveling up did earn us 1 back, which means today we need a new plan, because we still have dangerous quests ahead, including escort quests. So today we prepare. The first stop is Ironforge's auction house. I search for something many a hardcore player swear by, but something I've actually never used before. A target dummy. These little wooden heroes are legendary among hardcore runners. They can save your life by distracting enemies long enough for you to escape. There's just one problem. Well, 2 problems. They cost 20 silver each, and require 85 engineering just to use them. So naturally I buy one anyway, and after collecting it from the mailbox, I notice another letter from Bob. Fun fact, he's apparently the official dirt baron of the Third War? Whatever that means? I take a look at the materials required to craft target dummies. Copper modulators, copper bolts, bronze bars, and wool. So I make a big decision. I unlearn herbalism and pick up mining again. I'm not dropping alchemy just yet because that's still my main source of income, which we can use through fishing and not really requiring herbs. But the long-term plan is clear. I need to mine an abundance of materials, level up my engineering to level 85, craft some target dummies, and that way we can survive some escort quests and other more difficult quests down the road. That way we can try to do these quests ourselves and not really rely on burning through these help tokens. So with the plan in motion, I head to Stormwind to begin mining. And as I do so, almost immediately, Bob logs in. While he discusses matters of all things Bob in the guild chat, I begin the mining process, and after collecting quite the large sum of ore and stones, Bob requests another meeting. So I indulge him. I wait for him in the Lion's Pride Inn, and decide to welcome him this time, asking him to present a hat. But he actually did. Kinda. He trades me 4 gift boxes for me to open. And inside we find a mechanical chicken, okay, a level 15 two-handed claymore of strength, which I can't use, male burnished braces, which I also can't use, and another two-handed sword called Shiverblade, which I can't use. At least the chicken's cool. He also gives me a leatherworking pattern, which would be amazing if I were a leatherworker. And 5 lesser healing potions, which, you know what, those are actually useful. So to return the favor, I trade Bob something truly meaningful. And definitely not just because I wanted to get it out of my inventory. 1 single piece blue. A fair trade. Mining continues as I head toward Redridge to see if any of the quests that were silver previously have opened up, and I managed to find 2. One from Verna Osgood, the stable hand, asking me to return to Goldshire to collect him a shipment of horseshoes, and the other from Magistrate Solomon himself, requesting me to visit Stormwind yet again and deliver a report to General Marcus Jonathan. So I pick up both quests and make haste back to Goldshire, where I meet with Smith Argus for 340 XP and take the follow-up quest to return the horseshoes back to Redridge for 5 silver. But as I make my way over to the gates of Stormwind, I notice Bob walking up the road. So naturally I slip into stealth and observe him. Bob has warned me in the guild chat previously about someone, I don't know, something like an evil Bob in the past, and as a proud member of the Ultra Hardcore Passive Guild, he definitely shouldn't be killing anything, right? Well, to my utter shock and dismay, I witness a murder most foul as he strikes down a rabbit in cold blood. So what do you think? Is this evil Bob's doing? Or should I be kicking the real Bob out of the guild for violating the law? Reporting in with the general acquires me 490 XP, and I'm asked to return to Redridge with a response letter. After doing some bank cleanup, Bob appears yet again. Bob, I'm trying to make a video. What the fuck? He begins spouting things only Bob would. And of course, Bob opens trade and gives me a grunt axe of strength this time. Again, I can't use it. Clearly though, I must have looked disappointed at this point because he adamantly tells me to wait a moment. And he returns with even more gifts. And you know what? This time he brings actual upgrades. We got a Bard's Tunic of Agility with 76 armor and plus 7 agility. A huge upgrade on the spore-covered tunic I picked up in the last episode. We also got a pair of blackened Defias boots, which not only are a part of a really cool set of armor, but would be a great improvement on the grey boots I'm currently wearing. He also gave me shoulder pads, of which I currently don't have, but we can't use these until I'm level 15. And some beautiful plus 7 agility pants that again I can't wear until level 19. But you know what? These are very strong upgrades. Maybe too strong. Now, if you'll recall, back in episode 1, I did mention that help is allowed in this challenge. But this feels too much. So for now, until I can decide what I want to do with this gear, it goes in the bank, unused for now. I'm thinking if I do accept these, it should cost a help token, or simply I just vendor them, because it's just too strong. Voice your opinion in the comments down below as to what you would do with this gear. But to show Bob my thanks regardless, I open trade with him, and trade him another Peace Bloom. And, well, Bob is thankful. He kneels before me and sings my praises. And with that, the Bob saga is over. For this episode, anyway. And I head on over to the bag vendor in Old Town to pick up 2 small brown pouches, 6 slots. One to replace my old Blanchy 4-slot bag, and the other for my bank. I head on over to the Dwarven district and smelt down the mass amounts of copper I'd collected, and finally return to the bank, buying an additional bag space for 1 gold, and banking all of my materials. Unsure of what to do with the gifts that Bob had given me that I'm unable to use, I simply vended them. Look, I know, they could have been mementos that I should be holding on to remember the influence of Bob. Or I could have even tried to auction them off for greater profits than just the vendor cost. But I didn't earn these, and I just don't have the space. So I feel like the best thing for me to do to keep these offerings useful is just to vendor them, bringing my cash count back up to 3 gold and 60 silver. One last errand I had to run in Stormwind was returning to the auction house and purchasing 5 flasks of oil. Now, I know what you're thinking, and no, this isn't my Diddy arc. We're not using this oil, we're delivering it to someone. So I finally head back to Redridge and deliver the horseshoes to Verna for 675 XP, and the note from General Marcus to the Magistrate for 250 XP. The Magistrate, feeling let down by the Stormwind Army's response, hands me a follow-up quest to reach Grian Stoutmantle in Westfall to deliver him a written plea, and coincidentally, that was going to be my next destination anyway. So I take the flight path over to Westfall and hand in for 490 XP, with the leader of the People's Militia handing me a response letter for the Magistrate. And from what he said to me, it looks to be even worse for good old Magistrate Solomon. But before I can return with the bad news, I head on over to a place I've strictly avoided till now. On the way I also picked up 115 XP passing through Demont's place, and 125 XP at the Westfall Lighthouse, where I deliver the Diddy Oil to Captain Grayson for 1,150 XP. And then, look over in a direction where I dare not revisit. The Murloc-riddled coast of Longshore. The place where my brother, Shaghass, fell. Feeling sentimental at this, my journey this day is over. So I decide to hearth back home to safety and take a drink from the tankard of ale left for me at the Ironforge Inn. This one was a short one, and as you can see, we have plenty ways to go to get to level 15. But with a plan in motion, engineering really could change the way this series is shaping up to be. Only time will tell, and we will see what happens in the next episode. That's all for this time. Thanks for watching. See you next time.